Ball. Oh, you gotta taste my steak. Norm, thank you. Look, Sandy ain't gonna have no woman in her kitchen cooking like this, okay? Well, I'm glad about that. Tell Sandy I'm gonna come back. Tell her she ain't had my baked chicken. That when you pick it up, it fall off the bone. How about that? None. I love it. I love the of it. That's my Sandy. That's my Sandy. And I'm so glad that my Sandy B is all right with me. Let's get it. That was me.
Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Ooh, we all know how I feel when that Leon comes on. That Leon, he's a looker. Hi, everybody. How are you? Look, wait a minute, Norm. Here go Alicia. Almost, Tiff. 8:53. Alicia, I got you for a good 7 minutes. 7 is the Lord's number. Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Y'all, it's our day. It's about us. It's our day today. How are you? How was your Memorial weekend? I hope you guys are doing well. Paula Joe Branch, God bless you. Good to see you. Steve. Hi, Steve. Y'all, this is Steve's favorite show. Big shout out to Steve. And, of course, the one who tries to make sure that I start on time. Jesus. Thank God for Alicia, who checks me while checking the time because I'm late. And she's like, you are late. This is what she said. Almost. Alicia, I'm glad you jumped on. Alicia will inbox me. Where are you? Where are you? I know. Alicia, how are you doing? I hope you guys are having a great day. How was everybody's weekend? How was your day today? I don't know about you. Y'all, your girl today was like so super duper duper busy. And I guess because, the office was closed yesterday. So everything that could have possibly happened on Monday happened today. Everything that you could possibly think of happened today. So I hope you guys are doing well. How was your weekend? Holla at me. Let me know what you did. Let me know where you at, what city, what state you're in. How is your family? Is everybody safe? There was a lot of stuff going on this weekend. If you're in Jersey, did you see what happened with where was it? Seaside Heights, Ocean City, and Wildwood? It was like mayhem. I'm glad you're doing wonderful, Lisha. I am good. Yeah, so Seaside Heights, Ocean City, and Wildwood was a mess. When I say a mess, it was just young children or young adults, whatever you want to call them, teens, yada, yada, yada. They were all over the place. Good to see you, Vivi. How are you? Virginia Glenn is on. Good to see you. They were all over the place. The cops coming out all over the place. And I'm like, what is going on? What is really going on? It was just not a good look whatsoever. whatsoever. And so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm one of those I don't even like to really go out like that anymore, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And I love the beach. I just now have to find a beach where people just don't go. But I was going to one particular beach, and I'll never forget it. I was FaceTiming one of my friends who was in the hospital. What's up, G? Good to see you, Gerald Miller. And Pastor Jason, that is not a problem. Big shout out to Pastor Jason Hendrickson. Who will be here next weekend. Y'all, we have such a good time. Norm said he's going to call you. Yeah, so I was on the phone. I was on FaceTime with one of my friends who was in the hospital. He passed away about a year. Wow, it's been about a year. And so I said to him, I said, Terry, it looks like a lot of people are at this beach. And usually people don't come here like that. And so he said to me, really? And I said, yeah. I said, look at this. He said, but Tiff, it doesn't look like a lot of people. I said, because usually a lot of people, usually it's not packed like this. It might not look like a lot to you, but usually it's less than this. So one thing led to the other. I'm sitting down just enjoying the sun, enjoying the Lord. And I promise you, as clear as I can hear my voice, I heard the Spirit of God say, leave. Y'all, I promise on everything. I got in my car, drove off. Next thing you know it, within 15 minutes, I want to say I was at the Parkway about 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, my phone is blowing up. Do you see what's going on? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? The kids that were at the beach that day, jumping on cars, climbing the lampposts, starting trouble on the beach. Next thing you know it, there's this riot or whatever, because I think that there was supposed to be, wasn't this when they said that somebody created a flyer and said it was like going to be a teen party or something like this. So everyone came out and it was ridiculous. Virginia said, I'm trying to stay awake. 9 p.m. my bedtime. Love you. Vivi, if you go to sleep, it's all good. You could always catch the replay. So I was, this weekend where I was at, Chef Girl RT was over at Norm and Sandy's house. I said, Lord, Norm, Sandy ain't going to allow me to keep coming in this kitchen. I said, she ain't going to allow me to cook in this kitchen. He said, she will, because it's you. You hear Norm? Norm said, killing it. Hey, Jasmine, good to see you. Hey, Sandy B. I was like, Norm, Sandy ain't going to let me in this kitchen again. Look. Norm. Listen, Norm was talking about that chicken. Let me tell y'all something. I know how to season up some stuff. When I tell you I am like a seasoning queen, there's this dude on Instagram that say, if you ain't sneezing, it ain't seasoned. That's the truth. I sure did. I said, Norm, where's the seasonings at? I was like, right there, you was like a master. I picked out this, picked out that. Sandy, I was like, Norm, Sandy ain't gonna allow me to keep coming in the kitchen. No woman want no woman cooking in their kitchen. But he said, she ain't gonna care. I was like, okay, I'll be back. I said, oh, wait till y'all taste my baked chicken. Sandy, I was getting happy in your house. I keep telling you, Sandy, I'm gonna build a tiny house right in y'all backyard. I got the music, because y'all both DJ. I got the screen. I'm good. What do I need to get a big place for? And I can get me a nice tiny house in y'all backyard. Afia Assad Brown, God bless you. Good to see you. Hey, Auntie Risa. Sean Granberry, good to see you. Tracy Cox, good to see you. Hey, Cousin Crystal. I just saw a heart from Toya. Hi, Toya. Good to see you. And Sandy just said, only because it's you. Sandy, I'm not trying to cause no fires in your crib. Sandy, and that's all. Norm is laughing. My cousin Tisha is on. Hey, T. It's good to see you. Let me see something. So, y'all, I saw a couple of things on Facebook. This girl, Minister Kelly Farrell, had posted some old school stuff. And when I tell you, the stuff that I saw had me hollering. Are you this old where you guys can actually remember this? How many of y'all remember when taking exams and taking tests and stuff, you needed a number 2 pencil and you had to do all of this circles and this. Big shout out to Minister Kelly Farrell for posting this, because I'm going to post everything that she had posted and give her credit. I'm not like some folk that just post other people's stuff and don't give them credit. But yeah, so she had posted this on her Facebook page. She shared it from someone's page, and it gave me such a nostalgic moment. Do they even test like this in the schools anymore? I don't even know. I don't know what goes on in the school districts anymore. And then look at this. She posted this. You're a kid again, and you've got a quarter. What are you picking? Y'all, I'm not going to lie. I said I am picking Sunkist, because back in the day, my 2 favorite sodas were ginger ale, which still is, because I think ginger ale is a cure for everything, and Sunkist. Those are my 2. Sandy said, hated it. Now they do it on a computer. No. Kids get tested on computers? They don't do the circle things anymore? The filling out the circles? Wow. I didn't know that. Wow, that's crazy. So, Sandy said Dr. Pepper. First of all, anyone who says Mountain Dew would make me nervous. Mountain Dew is like liquid crack. Out of all of these sodas, first of all, right now, Coca-Cola and ginger ale are my favorite. Tracy said Pepsi and 7-Up. And so that would be that. But then I need y'all to participate in this. Who's ready to call me? 646-233-1302. You want to know why? Boom. Because when Kelly posted this up, I said, I need somebody to call me and finish these lyrics. Do y'all remember this? You're all singing. What is that? Lord, I'm over here squinting, looking like Mr. Magoo. You're all singing. You know the songs, Norm? Norm knows all of these songs. Who's going to call me up and sing the first one, the second one, the third one, all of that? Listen, when I saw this, I promise you, it took me back to my childhood. I don't know what everyone else's childhood was like. My childhood was not bad. I did not have a bad childhood. I'm not one of those that have those kind of stories. Alicia said Welch is great. And for those who did have those stories or didn't have those stories, what do you remember most about your childhood? Do you remember seeing these commercials? I want you guys to give me a call. Oh, Sandy said, I know every last song. Sandy. Every last song, Sandy? I'll tell you what. The first person that can call and sing every last one of these songs, the first person that can call and finish the lyrics to these songs from back in the day. Sandy, I don't know if I can include you because you're the station owner's wife. You're going to know more stuff than we know. Hey, Sister Paula. Eddie Boom, good to see you. God bless you. The first person to call me that's able to finish the lyrics with these songs, I might have something for you. Oh, Sandy said, I'm not calling, though. Alicia said she had the bomb childhood. I know them, too. Alicia, call in 646-233-1302. And I need you to go ahead and sing the lyrics to every last one of them. Oh. You want me to do that instead? Uh-huh. Oh, I know what that is. You know what that is, Norm? You know what it is. Matter of fact, you know what? Instead of singing it, Norm made a good point. Instead of singing it, if you can call me and say the product for each one. Ooh, Norm, that would be good. If you can call with the product for each one of these. Norm, they can probably hear you. Oh, you. Wait, oh, 6 ain't on. Wait, what's nope? Okay, y'all don't listen to Norm. Don't be ear hustling. Me and Norm having a conversation. Y'all should see Norm. Y'all should see Norm going through each one. Who knows the product for each one of these? Y'all might remember the lyrics, but do you remember the product? Okay, Tracy Cox said, I can't see them all. I know the first one. Tracy says she knows just the first one. Okay, so the first one, Tracy, is My Baloney Has a First Name. The second one is I Don't Want to Grow Up. The third one is Give Me a Break. Give me a break, give me a break. The fourth one is The Best Part of Waking Up. The fifth one is Sometimes I Feel Like a Nut. Sometimes You Feel Like a Nut. The sixth one is I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. I almost started singing it the way that I heard it, the way that I know it. The next one, the seventh one is Reach Out and Touch Someone. Number 8 is If You Dare Wear Short Shorts. Number 9 is They're Magically Delicious. Number 10 is Meow, 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 Meow. 11, Plop, Plop, Fizz, Fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Number 12, y'all better take a screenshot. Number 12 is So Kiss a Little Longer, Hold Hands a Little Longer. You know what that is, Norm? Look. Hold Tight a Little Longer. Do y'all know what that is? So if you guys know what the products are, call me at 646-233-1302. 646-233-1302, and I might have something for you. So when I tell you, when I saw that, big shout out to Minister Kelly Farrow, because when I saw that, that blessed me and encouraged me and took me down memory lane. I used to love those commercials. Y'all remember, I'm really glad they made the Children's Aid Society. Do. Y'all remember that? Oh my God. So wait, did y'all also remember? So I don't know if you guys remember this too. Way back in the day when gas used to be 89 cents. Hey girl, with your gorgeous self, the Reverend done showed up for this show tonight. A pretty self. Do y'all remember when gas was 89 cents? Not only when it was 89 cents, when you would try to fill up, and if you didn't have enough money to to fill up your tank, you could really fill up your tank with $1. Do you remember that, Beebs? Wait a minute. What you say?
No, I'm not that old.
You said you're not that old. I'm so mad at that. Okay, wait. Where are you at, girl? Let me go ahead and move you down. No, next shot. Oh, this one here? Okay. Thank you so much, Norm. She said that she is not that old. Norm, do you remember when going to the gas station, let's just say, if you said, fill it up, and it only took $1. It didn't take the whole amount. It only took $1.
Oh, you mean it held $1?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is why I need to go ahead and get my degree.
Oh,
she said, you mean it held $1. Hey, cousin Lauren.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Raheem Henry. You remember those days?
Yes.
When it held $1. Mm-hmm. And so, is Norm talking to me? Oh, I thought he was talking to me. You remember that? You said, I remember, but I'm not old. I'm seasoned. You better say that, cousin Lauren. So, I put up several posts from Minister Kelly Farrow's page with the old school stuff. And so I asked people, do they remember? Where did I put that picture at? Oh, my bad. Lord, Norm is doing something, and I'm over here taking the thing and doing something. So she had a list. Bianca shaking her head away. So she had 12 different tunes that were from commercials. And so Norm had made a good point. I said, the first person that calls and can sing the tunes, like the rest of it, I might have something for you. Norm said, no, you should have them call in and name the product to the tune. That's a whole different ball game. And so I'll put that back up later on.
I have to see it. I didn't see it.
Okay, thanks, Norm. Ooh, don't you look, Beeps, I got on ripped jeans too. Aren't we flowing in the
I
spirit?
didn't know. I need a lap cloth.
She said, I need a lap cloth. Oh, my God. She is too much. So, y'all, here it is. How many of these jingles do you remember? These are the jingles. If you can name the product to each one of these, I will have a gift for you by Friday. Okay? But you have to name the product to each one of these jingles from the commercials from back in the day. If you could name the product that goes along with this, I got something for you on Friday. All right? So take a screenshot. And matter of fact, you'd have to answer it tonight on the show. So don't call me Friday talking about I got the answers. Oh my gosh. We were having such a nostalgic moment. So here's another thing, guys. Guess what's coming up? I can't believe it. 7 months away. Yes, we are. Save the date. That's right. Unbothered. You already know your girl's going to be being unbothered. How about that? So save the date for Unbothered. # No Filter Women's Conference on Saturday, January 4th, 2025, 6 p.m. at the Pines Manor. So I would love to have you guys register. Go to www.unbotheredthemovement.com to register. Or you can holler at your girl. Send me a text at 209-UNBTHRD. And I'll go ahead and get somebody from the team to go ahead and connect with you. We have vendor space that's limited. You can either go to the website directly to reserve your vendor space or reach out to me for details, and I'll have somebody call you and connect with you. Would love to have you come through and vend. Would love to have you come and vend. And if you would like to advertise here on the Making Me Matter radio show, holla at your girl. Let me know what it is that we can do to bring visibility to your vision. Advertise with us. Let me know what you would like to do. If you have product that you would like to push, merchandise that you would like to push, you have an upcoming event, and we have the right to be selective as to what product and events we go ahead and promote for you. So holla at your girl, inbox me, or shoot me an email at admin@unbotheredthemovement.com, and I'll have somebody from my team get back to you, okay? Oh, Alicia just asked for the jingles again. Alicia, here you go. These are the jingles. If you know the product to these jingles, call me at 646-233-1302. If you know the product to the jingles. That was good, Norm.
I know
product.
10 of them.
You know 10 of the?
Mm-hmm. I know 11, I think.
You think you got 11?
Mm-hmm.
The good Reverend said she thinks she got 11. Pastor Steph, good to see you.
Maybe.
Kadir Cox, thank you so much for jumping on. You don't know 12?
Oh, I know what
I know what 12 is. Uh-huh. 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 Look, Norm. Yes.
It's food.
Yep.
I don't know what 7.
Number 7, reach out and touch someone.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know that one?
I know what number 6 is. I don't know what product it is, though. I know the jingle.
Oh, I know what number 6 is. Hi, my God baby's mama, my Asia. Good to see you, La Asia. So if you guys can call and come to me with these, all of the products, 1 through 12, if you know the answer to each of these jingles, what the product is, I'll have a gift for you by Friday. But you have to tell me the products tonight. You'd have to call into the station within the next 5 minutes to tell me what product it is. Now. Okay. Oh, yes, please. Thank you. That's what you would have to do. So I need you to go ahead. If you know the product to these songs, go ahead, holler at your girl. And Beebs, you smell amazing.
Thank you.
What perfume? Oh my gosh. Why do I feel like I had that though? Does that begin with a J?
No.
Y'all, do you smell this, Norm? Norm is so unbothered with me and my smell. Let me tell y'all how OCD I am with smells, right? She smells, let me tell you something. Reverend Bianca smell like money. That's what she smelled like. She smelled like good money. Let me tell y'all. Listen, look, Asia just said you and your saints. Age, do you remember when I was married? Let me tell you a story, peeps. Y'all listen to this. When I was married, first of all, I absolutely loved being a wife. And I'm going to tell you something. I was the best wife, hands down, right? So when I was married.
So, we can't hear you with the clap.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not going to clap as much. Thank you for being so kind saying that.
Thank you. We can't hear you with the claps.
Thank you, peeps. So when I was, girl, Pastor Steph, she smelled like good money. Like money that stuck together kind of money. She smelled. I'm like, dang, girl, she gonna get somebody walking down the street. Well, I shouldn't be saying that. You smell anointed and amazing.
No, because I'm not walking down the street.
Oh, she said, I'm not walking down the street. Y'all, she smelled that good. So when I was married, y'all, when I was married to my husband, Dwayne, who was a bona fide country boy from a small town called Temple, Texas, which was not far from Austin. Country. It would take a country boy to deal with somebody like me because their level of patience is like, girl, go sit down. And I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, girl, go. So that balance, it worked out. But Asia and Dwayne were mad cool. And Dwayne would send me with a few $100s because I would go to Super Walmart, which was only 7 minutes away from the house. And I would go food shopping. I would do every Saturday morning. I would get up at 5 o'clock, walk around the house, see what we needed, make a list. And I would be out the door no later than 7 o'clock every Saturday morning. Because this woman, like Proverbs says, handled the affairs of her household. So anywho, I'm not going to tell y'all Bianca was like, all the affairs. So anyway, so I get to ShopRite. I come home. And God bless you, Cassandra Jenkins Williams. Thank you for joining. So I get to Walmart, whatever. I come home. And Dwayne would tell Asia, because Asia still lived out here in Jersey. Age, and because I used to call him my sugar wooger. And so Age used to call him fructose because of sugar. And so he would say, Age, dog, this girl bought all this stuff, all these plugins and everything to make the house smell good. She ain't bring home no meat. Oh my gosh. And we would just laugh and laugh. I'm like, Dwayne, I don't like coming into a stale house. I like stuff to smell good. Y'all should see. Norm will tell you, when I come in, I have a little setup. So I have my body spray. I got my lotion. And of course, I got my lip gloss in case my lips are no longer popping. I got to make them pop. But at the end of the day, I love to smell good. Because to me, a lady should always have a sweet scent. I just was raised like that. I grew up, Aunt Bev, growing up, had me in her Estee Lauder private collection. My Nana always had good perfume. My grandmother, my mother. I'm big on that. So when Bianca, Reverend, came in the door, smelling like good money, I said, God gonna bless your daughter. God's gonna bless you because you smell good. Y'all, this thing, she smell amazing. So that's all I was saying. So it was funny when Dwayne used to tell Asia that when I would go shopping, I was supposed to be going food shopping and buy all this stuff for the house. And I would buy more plugins than anything else. And he would always tell her, dog, she ain't buy no meat. she just got all this stuff. I would buy all these different carpet freshers, all these different candles, plug-ins left and right. And even when I lived in Jersey and I had my apartment in West Windsor, Age came to the house. Hey, Kyrie Allen, good to see you. Age came to the house. I had a different plug-in in every outlet. I am big on smells. If you go in my car smells amazing. I love smells. Thank you for allowing me to reminisce about fun things, because I had a hard day today. It was super duper busy. How was everybody else's day? Monique Clyde, if I'm saying your name right, God bless you. Thank you for jumping on. So y'all, Pastor Jason Hendrickson will be here next week. He was supposed to come tonight, but he is going to be here next week. Big shout out to my buddy, my friend, Pastor Jason Hendrickson. Oh, did you hear that? I was spitting bars. So listen to this, y'all. I wanted to talk tonight about, and I know Reverend Bianca can deal with this. Have you guys ever been in a situation where you thought it was traumatic? I think we've all had traumatic situations at some form or fashion, whether it was, and see, here's the thing. You don't want to negate or downplay somebody's measure of trauma. You don't want to downplay somebody's trauma. Mm-hmm. And so, and there's levels, right? And so one thing triggers another thing. And so we want to be sensitive to somebody else's pain. But is it possible to start trusting after trauma? That's what I want to talk about tonight. Trusting after trauma. Terry Briggs Jones, God bless you. Thank you for joining. Is it possible to trust again after trauma? I have a cousin that said to me one day, years and years and years and years and years and years and years ago, who said, I was too trusting. I have family members that have said to me, Tiff, you're too trusting. And I can only imagine, I'm looking at my sister's face as she just smiles. Because with certain situations, she says, I'm sure she would say, this shouldn't have been this long, or that shouldn't have been that long, or, just things because of being too trusting. My daddy always used to say, always give people the benefit of the doubt, But there's a difference between giving the benefit of the doubt and then making excuses for why people are who they are and being who they are and allowing them to handle you any kind of way. And then trauma sets in. Sometimes you can't help something happen to you. Of course, you have people that have been raped. That's not their fault, things like that. But is it possible to live a life again, trusting, after being, having traumatic experiences and being engaged in moments of devastation? And so, God bless you, Sister Sharon. Reverend, what are your thoughts about that?
I think there has to be context around trauma. What type of trauma are we talking about? Are we talking about trusting the perpetrator of the trauma afterwards? Ooh. Or are we talking about trusting whatever demographic of the person that caused the trauma? I think also determining what level of trauma it is. Because while some traumatic encounters, I believe you can trust again, I don't believe that you trust all people depending on the traumatic encounter again.
That's good. And you don't have to trust the same person.
No.
But you give another person a chance. And that's where, God bless you, my sweet, my Ruby. Oh, I'm so glad to see you on here. I love you dearly. If you guys have never watched my Ruby, watch her show on Mondays at 4 p.m. right here at BKS1 Radio. My Ruby, put your information up so that they can go ahead and watch your show. What is it? Unapologetic Amateurs. Her show is fire. Y'all make sure you tune in on Mondays and get some serious education from my Ruby. I had a couple of things where family members have said I was too trusting, or I have trusted people and I shouldn't have, and this has been honestly all my life. To this day, mommy will tell me when I leave the house, don't talk to strangers. I'm like, Ma, be careful because you talk to everybody. I'm like, Ma, I only talk to whoever the Lord leads me to talk to. Whoever the Lord allows me to talk to. And, you can pick up a person's spirit and use discernment as to who is worthy, not worthy in a sense of like glorified worthy, but worthy in a sense of it's safe to address and talk to. But something you said you don't trust. You don't go back to the person that inflicted the trauma.
Right. And I think it's an individual's decision. I don't think there is a blanketed answer. I think the individual gets to decide what they will and what they will not re-engage in. And so I don't think there's a blanketed answer. And I also think, again, there are levels of trauma. There's you took $20 out of my pocketbook versus you took my pocketbook at gunpoint. Those are two different levels
types
of trauma.
Right.
And so I think it's an individual. And then it could be a lighthearted, the big news of the preacher getting engaged again. That woman decided to trust based on, even though there's information that says you shouldn't. So I think everybody gets to decide for themselves. Oh,
you're going to make me throw my phone.
No, it's in a more lighthearted way, because we don't have to always be so all the way left, but that is also a situation for people who find themselves in compromising situations, and the people who choose to love them after those situations. It's traumatic for the person who went through it with them, but to the new person, they have to decide, do I trust this person and see if they matured or they grew, or do I dismiss them and require them to remain where they were when they did whatever it is they did whatever they did. So I think it really is an individual's decision on how they'll go about it.
It's interesting because there are people that have been in my life over a span of years. And then people that have been in my life for a very short time that I've given chances to. And when I knew they weren't doing right, male or female, this is not target. Let me just put this out there. Because if anybody watches this, they're going to say, you talking about me. No, I'm talking across the board. And so if you've given a person chance after chance after chance after chance, and in the midst of the chances, you give them the benefit of the doubt and try to trust them anyway, right? But then you mess up. It's a whole different ballgame. I have somebody right now who I'm not speaking to. It's a female. And I don't know. We haven't spoken in a couple of years. I don't know what I did. And guess what? By now, I'm not trying to figure out what I did. And I say that on the strength of when I tried to find out, I got shut down. And so I think sometimes we have to be very careful. Even with trauma, be careful how you handle people in trying to come to a place of resolve. because there are times when, oh, help me, Holy Ghost, when I say this. Sometimes people, your heart might genuinely want to bring about a resolution. Mm-hmm. The other person might not want a resolution. They want to prove a point. Mm-hmm. And then they don't even realize that kind of enhances triggers to the trauma. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
So I think two things can be true. Mm-hmm. I think there has to be a mutual decision to move forward in any relationship. Mm-hmm. But I also don't think because I'm ready to move forward, that necessarily means you have to be ready to move forward. I watch some reality TV. I usually watch it at the end of the season so I can watch all of the episodes at one time. And so Love and Marriage DC is one of the ones that I watch all at one time because the seasons are too long. I just watch it, you know. And two of the women were friends prior to getting on reality TV. Mm. And then there was a third woman added to it. And there, of course, it's reality TV, drama happens, things happen, they fall out. So they're having this conversation about it. And one of the women says, when I tried to apologize to you, you were too stubborn to accept my apology. And then when you wanted to apologize to me, I was too stubborn to accept your apology. And so we spent X amount of months bickering and arguing and fighting when if we had just took our armor off, we probably could have been further along than we are now. Mm. I think that requires you to, there has to be a mutual decision, but I also think that you have to give space for people to find their safety in taking off their armor.
How do you give a person space without having something in your mind like what's going on in between the space and the now?
I don't know how to answer that. But for me personally, well, here's my very churchy answer. I believe all things subjected to prayer, God will speak to you. That's answer number one. I think the reality is there are some relationships that will never get back to where they were. Mm. And being okay with that.
Being okay with that.
But then I think there are other relationships that are worth fighting for. And I believe that when you give people enough space and time, and there's no real definitive number around time, I think that those relationships, when you are intentional about them being, you'll get back to the place where you can. I think for some of us, we have to be careful not to just throw people away because they don't respond in a time or manner that we think they should. Well, maybe it's going to take a little bit longer. But just be open to and sensitive to when the door does open, letting the relationship evolve from where it is.
That's good. Pause. That was good. That was good. Alicia says 100, 100. Terry Briggs Jones says sometimes you just have to be still. Still waters run deep. That's so true. That's so true.
And I also think then you also have to manage yourself. Because we often project onto other people our whatever our traumas and triggers are, known and unknown. And so I think if a relationship is in a stalled moment and you really want it back, I think you can communicate that to the person. Right. And just let them know, hey, I know we had this difficulty. I just want you to know, for me, I want, whenever you're ready, I would like for us to at least be in relationship at some point again. That way the person knows that you're not interested in throwing them away, because I think we are very much a throwaway culture. Everything has to, my way or the highway. I can do it all by myself. I don't need anybody. And I think it's a really, really, it's really a lie that we cannot live on this earth by ourselves. We can't survive by ourselves. Life can become hell, and you need somebody. We all need somebody. And so I think when your relationship is healthy, that when you hit those hard times, when you hit those patches, when you hit those distances, because there are times when I know for me personally, some of my relationships, we can go months without talking because life just is lifing.
Right.
And then some I talk to every day. And the ones that go a lengthwise, because we've built a healthy relationship, the other person knows I haven't just dropped them. There's just a lot going on right now. And I used to say all the time, you know, I just say people, nobody don't call me. And then one day I had to sit back and say to myself, well, who do you call? And then I thought about it. I don't call nobody. So nobody shouldn't be calling me because I don't call nobody.
Wow.
And so just reassessing how we subject friends to or relationships to other relationships, we compare them, and I think that's part of our downfall is we don't let every relationship be its organic own. So if me and you do this, then if you and that person does it, and me and that person, I got to compare, and it's so easy to get entrapped in. Oh, she likes her better than me. Well, no, we just have another level of relationship, or he likes her, or however the relationship. We just have another level of relationship, and a different kind of relationship. And I think the comparison is the root of all evil and divisiveness.
I believe that.
And it causes us not to be in relationship and to lack trust. My friends are my friends, and their friends are whoever they're friends with.
Whoever they're friends with.
And if they go to dinner and I see a picture, I'm happy for them. Good, y'all went out. I probably didn't have no money anyway, so I'm glad that you didn't ask me. I didn't need to be out anyway. Or maybe they're building something at this time that doesn't require me. And so I think we have to individually assess our own seasons, our own situations, and then contextualize what really happened. And then if we were the ones that were wrong, then we have to own up to the fact. Now we have to wait it out. And that person may never want to be in a relationship with you again. And you have to be okay with that too. It was good while it lasted.
Ooh, Reverend Brian Johnson, good to see you on here, Rev. He said, hey, Reverend Bianca, my ordination twin.
Hey,
help
twin.
the people this evening, and I better be your friend.
Yeah, I mean, and you are my friend. Definitely my friend. Best friend. Tell my best friend I said, hey, best friend.
I love when y'all do that. I do.
So I said, hey, best
Terry
friend.
Briggs Jones said, maturity is big.
Mm-hmm.
And Teresa Ray said, grown and mature. Terry also said, I believe when you get to a certain age, the tolerance is different. And I think that's where I'm going to be honest with you. I think, love you back, Rev. I think that's where I'm at. And I think all of us at some point can say, I just don't have the tolerance for this anymore.
So I'm going to push back slightly on that.
Okay.
And here is my pushback. I'm trying to say it in a way that's not. Tolerance for things and tolerance for people are two different things.
They are. So explain that.
So I can have a low tolerance for loud noise or loud people. But that doesn't mean I can't tolerate you as a person because you are loud. And I think the other part of that is I think we use age as an excuse to be a little ornery towards people.
Ornery.
Yes. I think we use age. And one of my struggles with that, for me in my faith building, is that at what age did you stop acting a fool in God? Tolerance changed towards you. And so, again, we put parameters, and I'm not saying you have to let people run roughshod over you. I'm talking about because people don't do things the way we think they should, or at this age, you should be better at that. And if you're a parent, you say to your child, at your age, you should not be acting like this. That's true. But we also don't know what has gone on in the background of somebody's life that maybe at this age, something traumatic did happen. And so this conversation is driving me crazy. I was watching the show last week, and I won't tell people what it is because I don't want people to die. Oh my gosh, you watched that? Yeah. But there was a couple, and the one person in the relationship was like 42 years old. And every time they had to talk about something serious that she doesn't like conversation, she would just get up and walk out. Every single time. And it would be simple stuff like, hey, we need to talk about, I'm a morning person, you're a later morning person. Let's talk about that because we only have one bathroom. So we need to kind of gauge how we're going to operate. And it was like, I don't want to talk about it. They didn't like confrontation. And in the beginning, I was like, at 42 years old, you should be able to better communicate. But then when they started talking about how growing up, they always were wrong. So they have built this thing where I'm not even going to try to have a conversation because I was always wrong. Everything I did was wrong. And I'm not accepted anyway, so I'm just going to walk out. If the conversation is not fun and jovial, I don't want to talk about it. And so I think about things like that when we say I have a low tolerance or something, is that some people may be dealing with real hard, traumatic experience, childhood, things that were put on them by their parents. And it's just not as easy to let go of as many of us believe. We watched the Gypsy Rose thing. If you watch Gypsy Rose, that girl still says she loves her mother.
She killed her.
She killed her, but she still loves her because of all of the things. But if you would think of all the things that her mom did to her, that's probably not calling in to say
about the things.
They don't looked up all the.
They done looked up all
the products,
stuff.
so they know now. But just to think about it, that's
Paula, hold on 1 second.
In relationships, so like we look at the situation with like Gypsy Rose, where her mother did what she did to her, but at the end of the day, in her confessional, she still says, "I miss my mother and I love her. I'm free now, from her, but I still miss her." And so I think that we have to be very careful about the way we box people into our standards. Because everybody has their own standards. Now, I can say, hey, your tone sometimes is, I'm in a season where that tone is hard for me to handle. And if I realize that, then I recognize, and if that's just the way you naturally are, then I have to monitor how I handle you. So I can't see you every day. But maybe once a week I can pull myself together enough to say, okay, I can deal with her loudness for one day a week. But I'm not just going to say, I'm 45 years old now, I can't take that loud noise. I can't talk.
Yeah.
That to me kills relationship, because what it says to me is I can't be my authentic self around you.
Ooh! Put a pause right there.
Okay. So
that was good. If this is the caller who I think this is, caller, say your name. I already saw the first 3 digits of the area code and said, I know that number. Hey, girl.
Hello, it's Alicia. How are you?
Alicia.
Okay.
So you think you know the products to each and every last one of I
inbox that to you because I ain't singing on no phone. I'm not doing that. I have a question on if I'm handling this situation the correct way.
I would love for you to talk to her about this. Go ahead, because I know Reverend Bianca gonna have a good answer. Go right ahead.
One of my good friends, a coworker of mine, daughter committed suicide last Thursday. I have not been able to go to her house because I feel like in this time, she just needs to deal with just her family. I reach out to her and see if it's anything I need or see if it's anything she needs. Am I handling this the right way? Because I'm just putting myself in her shoes. God forbid if that was to happen to me. I wouldn't want people sitting at my house eating chicken. Not right now. So am I handling this right? Just keeping my distance.
I'm not going to say you're handling it right or wrong. What I am going to say is, what type of person is your friend? Is your friend a person who heals from presence of people? Because if that person heals from presence, then maybe you not showing up doesn't feel like what you're intending to do, which is give me space to grieve. It could seem like you weren't there. So I think you have to take off how you would handle it and consider. Just ask, do you mind if I come over? And then that puts the ball in her court, and she gets, or him or her, I'm not sure. And that gives them the opportunity to say, yeah, I would love to see you, or you know what, at this time I'm not seeing people right now. But I think I know how you would want to handle it, but that may not be the way they are handling it. Maybe having people around is helping them get through this time.
Well,
so I would
the
simply
reason
ask.
I'm taking it that way is because maybe a couple months ago, another coworker of ours lost somebody, and people were saying, "Oh, well, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go over there," and she was like, "If anything like that ever happened to me, I just don't want people around." So I'm like, okay. I thought about the conversation that we had prior, but I reach out to her, you know, do you need anything you want me to do? I just don't feel like me going over there is the right thing to do. Like, her other daughter found her daughter, and it's just a lot going on at her house right now.
So then, if she has vocalized that she doesn't like it, then I would say do what you're doing. Just text, check in. Hey, how are you? And even if she doesn't respond to the text message, because here's the thing about grief and death is it's forever. And so maybe you don't show up at her house now, but maybe 2 months from now, she needs somebody to just come sit with her. And I think that's the other thing is being able to just be without having conversation, without having to put any pressure. But if she has vocalized that she doesn't want a lot of people around her, then I believe you're doing the right thing by respecting her wishes. I will also say this, though. We say things in moments when we have not experienced those things. And I can imagine that when she said it, the thought that I would have to deal with this level of death of my child and trying to monitor, and then having another child being the one who finds the child, that probably wasn't the scenario she was thinking about. It probably was like another kind of scenario. And so when she said it, she probably didn't mean it, but this wasn't, I'm sure she wasn't thinking my child would be the person. Ooh. And so I can imagine that is probably more devastating than anything. But I would not over inundate her. But maybe you just want to stop by one day and say, hey, just checking 5 minutes. Hey, just checking on you. Want to make sure you're okay. Is there anything you need me to do? And probably she's not thinking about it. So she don't know what she needs you to do. And that's one of the questions I've always asked myself. We ask people that all the time. Do you need me to do anything? I don't know what I need you to do.
Right.
I don't know. One thing she asked when I said, do you need me to do anything? She asked me to contact HR and, you know, let them know what was going on and get her bereavement days and different things like that. So I did handle that for her. Mm-hmm. I got 2 cards and I took it around. People signed them. I got over $1,500 to give to her at her daughter's funeral on Friday. Mm-hmm. So I'm
Lisha,
just, you know.
I'm going to be honest with you. I totally agree with what my sis is saying. Losing a child, I couldn't, first of all, to that, you know, I could never imagine. And I'm not comparing the two because I can't. Mm-hmm. But I'm comparing us. I don't even want to use the word comparing. Is the word empathy a good word, Beebs? Mm-hmm. I'm empathizing from a place of loss. One was an actual suicide. The other one was, Tiff, I'm tired, and died. And so you're dealing with a death. And so I'm saying, but here's what I'm getting ready to say to you, is that when I lost my husband, thank God my mom was there. I kept my curtains closed. I didn't, and anyone that knows me, I keep everything open, blinds open, curtains open. I wanted to see no light. I wanted to just see dark. I closed my blinds. I closed my curtains. My mother would pull my curtains back. I'm like, close them. I would stay in the bed. I had, and this is the truth, what you're doing with the office and having people contribute and putting things together and handling things. There were people at my house that were guarding my phone because I didn't know what to say and I was already drained. And so I had big shout out to Dr. Jennifer Schrader because she would answer the phone and say, who's calling? I'm taking her calls. I'll write your name down. Let her know that you called. She's resting. There's an element of drainage that comes with death and loss. And it's almost like there's something that leaves you that you just cannot describe the depth of what left. And so I had someone do that. And the truth is, even down to Dwayne's funeral arrangements, I had someone make the phone calls. This is what I want. I want this. I would like that. And that's it. I couldn't even think. And regardless how many dreams I had that I was going to wake up to him passing away, I didn't wake up to that. But it's the fact that the reality of it happened. And then this mother is probably thinking, what could I have done to prevented my child? Because we see stuff like this on the news. We see stuff like this within schools. But we don't think it's going to happen to us because we think we know the family member or the friend so well that they would never do that. And so now it's an element of, I didn't know this part of them or that they were hurting. Go ahead, because I see you.
No, I think you're right. So, but I think the other part of that is it's forever still. It's forever. And so I think even if you don't go around in the beginning, because the dust will settle. You talked about bereavement. You get 5 to 7 bereavement days, and then you got to use your vacation time. And nobody is ready to come back to work after devastation like that. And so maybe your role, because you do work together, is to help her manage at work. And so help her, kind of be the buffer between her and work at the time, because she has to. She's going to have to return back to work. And in most cases like this, it's not till months later that you actually have the bandwidth to process it. And so it right now, I can almost guarantee you it's just going through the motions. It's going through the motions.
Well,
got to get this done.
Her mother, her brother, and her stepfather, they flew down last Wednesday, and they went to the daughter's house who lives in Greensboro, and they were with her Wednesday. When we were getting off work Thursday, her mom and her stepfather and brother came to Fayetteville to her house. They had left the daughter's house. And while we were standing, getting ready to clock out of work, is when she got the phone call. And the reason that her mom and them came down is because that Friday, the daughter that found the sister was graduating from Fayetteville State. So her family is there with her, and that's why another reason I'm like, okay, she's not by herself. Her husband got deported, so he's not here. Now her daughter is gone. Her mother and them are there. Like, that's why I said it's a lot going on over there. So I know once her mom and them go back to New York, then I will make myself more, I'll be there because I know she's going to be by herself then.
Exactly. So I think you're making the right decision. I think you, based on your level of relationship, you understanding of relationship, and I think you, like you said, you reached out, so she knows you're there. She knows that you, whatever she needs, that you, if she needs you to come by, you are willing and able. But I think, to your point, this is going to be a long road. It's a long road, and so you have more than opportune times to just be there for her. And like you said, everybody else will go back to their lives, because that's the reality of it. People go back to their regular lives because they have to. They have to go back to work. They have to go back home to their homes. They have to do, very few people get to stay with you a longer duration. Very few people. So I think just as long as you have been in communication and they have expressed to you, hey, if you take care of this, she's giving you what she needed you to do. I think, like you said, collecting from the office, being the mediator in the office, communicating with the people in the office. Because I think, like you said, in 2 or 3 weeks, everybody's going to go back to their respective places. And then that's when the reality was set in. Everybody's gone, and now I have to really deal with this level of trauma and grief. And so I think you're doing it right. That's why I said in the beginning, I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I think you have to gauge it based on the person and your relationship.
And now she has her granddaughter too.
Now she has her granddaughter, and the truth is, her emotions, I'm just going to be honest, can hit her just from the change of the wind. There can be a moment where the wind just howls and it moves, and it might remind her of a moment she had when the wind moved one way, and might have moved her daughter's hair, and she had a flashback where she remembers fixing her daughter's hair because of the wind, or the wind might have knocked her down as a child, and that. So there's certain sense. Something my mom said that I'll never forget. She said, when it comes to death, she said, something happens when the silence gets loud. And I did not realize that. That mother, when that silence really hits, because right now she has to go through the planning. She has to do so much to try to pick a dress or whatever she's going to put on her child.
The business of
business, right. And so this is going to be, a very hard time for her. Up until then,
she still has to explain to her granddaughter that mommy's never coming home. Now she has her granddaughter.
That's that forever piece that Reverend Bianca was talking about. Because the truth of the matter is, this is something that's not going to be fixed.
And here's the thing. She's going to go through stages of grief. What didn't I do? What did I miss? What could I have done more? And we all know life just life for some people. And I have grown to redefine how I feel about suicide, because I used to be very much, ain't nothing that bad that'll make me want to take my life, until life got that bad, and I recognized it. I could see why.
Because people will judge that,
right?
And no one has a place to judge that,
right?
Yeah.
And I also absolutely believe that life can get that way, and the torment of being in your own mind can be so loud that even though you have a community around you that will help you, I can understand how people get to that place where they just feel like it's enough. It's enough. And so I would say to you, pray for your friend. Pray for your friend
I do.
On a regular basis. And just remind her that she has a friend. She has somebody who is there for her. Whatever you need me to do. If you just need me to come sit, you don't have to say nothing, or you just need to call and breathe on the phone. You don't have words to say, because I can promise you, months from now is when she will finally be ready to deal. And it may be years from now where she'll be ready to deal with it. But I think you're handling it perfectly.
Yeah.
As a good friend, you're doing what she's
can.
asked you to do, and you've availed yourself. And then you just have, you have a plan for when everybody goes back to their respective places, that I'm going to be here for her and her grandchild and the other daughter, because I can't imagine having such a high and then such a low happen all around. You never forget these kinds of things.
Right.
And so it's going to require some strong friendships, because even in grief, sometimes we lash out, and just be okay with being her safety space to even lash out. When she's just going off and you just need, it's not personal. She just needs a space. And so, I'm praying for both of you all.
Yeah.
Intentionally that you will be her safe space for when she wants to yell and holler and when she wants to just get it all out the best way she can. Because this is going to be a journey.
I think
to wellness.
I think I want to continue this next week when Pastor Jason is here also. I'd love to have you come back next week if you can. And then have Pastor Jason
Well, thank
on.
you, ladies.
Well, don't hang up yet because we're getting ready to close out. And
Can she inbox you her name? Because I would definitely like to keep them in prayer.
Absolutely. Inbox Bianca D. Allen.
No, just inbox you.
Oh,
You can send it to
inbox me. Her name.
I'll send you the information.
And the information. Yes. And don't hang up yet, Lisha. Beebs, can you do me a favor? Because we're getting ready to close out. Can you pray for her and anyone else who's having unresolved trauma to learn how to trust again after trauma? Because even this mother is probably questioning God. Like, why would God allow? Everyone, whenever there's a death, it's why would God allow if he is God? He could have stopped. I've heard that. I know you've heard that. So if you don't mind praying us out, and just for anybody else that's going through that space, I would love for you to just do that.
Our God and our King, our master of everything, God, you hold our world in your hand. And God, even in the midst of trauma, even in the midst of us not understanding, the one thing we know is that you are still God. And God, even when it's hard to trust you, I pray, God, that we would find a way to trust you, even when you seem unreachable, even when you seem unreasonable. God, I pray that we would find some place to hook our faith into you. But God, I know that you're such a gracious God and you're such a large God, even when we don't want to acknowledge you and who you are and your power, that you will still hold us in your hands. Now, God, I pray, God, for all of us who are dealing with trauma in a way, God, that we are trying to heal from it, that you would put us in the path of healing with whatever medicines, whatever therapies, whatever people we need, in addition, God, to our relationship with you, God, that you would lay it all out, that you would make it easy. And God, I know we say it so casually, go to therapy, God. For those who don't have the resources to go to therapy, God, I pray that you would provide therapeutic services to them, God, by the power of your Holy Ghost, God, that you would provide therapeutic services to them through their interactions with those who know you, oh God, and those who are professionals, God. God, I pray that you would provide resources and community to them, God, that they would find safety in a space, God, to be free, to be able to talk about the things, God, that have tried to bind them in the name of Jesus. God, I pray that we would all find a safe community where we could be ourselves fully and totally unfiltered, God, and that we would be loved on and appreciated, and that we would be reciprocated, that we would grow from that and heal, God. But then not only when we grow and heal, that we would reach back and help somebody else grow, God. Increase our patience, God. Increase our empathy, God. Increase our capacity of compassion, God. Give us a bandwidth, God, to love the way you love, God, to not throw people away because we remember, God, that they are are made in your image, oh God. God, teach us to slow down and get it to know one another, God, that we would be able, God, to be your visible signs in the earth realm, that God still loves us, oh God. God, I pray especially for that mom, God, who is getting ready to take this walk down the aisle behind a casket, burying their child. God, I don't even know what that feels like, God, but you do, as you sent your son down to save us, God. So, God, I pray that you would hold this mother in the palm of your hand, oh God. God, that you would give her a safe space to grieve, oh God. God, that you would give her a safe space to be, God, who she is, God, in this season in her life, God. And God, that you would surround her with those who love her unconditionally, those who are there for her unconditionally, God. And God, even in the midst of her grief, God, that she would heal, God, in a way, God, that would bring glory to your kingdom, God. And God, we're not putting a time limit on it, God, but God, that you would journey with her, God, through this time, God, that you would walk with her through this time, God, that you would talk to her through this time, God. And God, when she has nobody else, God, that you would be there, God. You would hold her in the palm of your hand, oh God. And God, cover her now, God, as she has to raise her grandchild. God, I pray that she would lack no resources, God, that she would lack no love, she would lack no joy, she would lack no finances, God, but she would have more than enough, God, she would be able, God, to raise this child, God, and she would raise this child, God, to be whoever this child is called to be, God, that every gift inside of this child, every talent that is inside of this child, God, that this grandmother, God, would be able, God, to nurture and care for her, God, as she journeys back to a place where maybe she was not planning to be, God. I pray that you would give her grace, oh God, grace beyond measure, oh God, that she would be able to walk this journey with her children and her grandchildren. Cover her, God. God, I pray for her mind in the name of Jesus, and I declare that no demonic attack shall come against her mind, that she shall not begin to think about all the things that she could have done, oh God, but God, that her mind would stay in perfect peace, God. Her mind would stay stayed on you, oh God, and God, that she would grieve healthy, oh God. Yes, Lord. And in your season, God, I pray, God, that you would take her mourning and turn it into joy, oh God. You said, blessed are they that mourn. So God, bless her indeed, oh God. I thank you for her friend who cares.
Yes, Lord.
Bless her friend indeed, God. Enlarge her capacity, oh God, as she journeys with her friend, oh God, during this season of her life, oh God. Bind them together, God, with cords that cannot be broken. Strengthen them, oh God. God, let this friendship be the sisterhood that she needs, God, to make it to the other side of what is the valley of the shadow of death. God, let her fear no evil, and God, let her carry her friend through, God, when she can't make it on her own. God, we thank you.
And we thank you.
And we praise you.
Yeah.
And we give your name the glory. And we still declare there is none like you.
There's still none like
in
you,
all the earth. There is none like you. There is none like you, and we shall not serve another God. We declare we shall not serve another God. Our hope is built on nothing less. God. Have your way, God, with the family, all of those, and all of those who are dealing with their traumas, oh God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Tiff, check your inbox.
Okay, I will. I love you, Lisha. Talk to you later.
Love you. All right.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, babies. Yeah. I love you. Thank you. All right, y'all. Lord willing, if God said the same, I will see you guys. We will see you guys next Tuesday, same bad time, same bad channel, with my buddy, Pastor Jason Hendrickson. And we're going to go ahead and I want to do a part 2 to this, Trusting After Trauma. All right, y'all. Lord willing.